Here we are live. Everyone, good day from Luca here and our great guide, Emek, our great travel expert from Finland. So once again, thank you so much for the attention all you dear travel agents are paying to these interviews right here. We are pretty happy to be here live and share with you some moments. Again, just a little introduction because before we pass on to Amy, we're doing this why? We're doing this to give the opportunity to all our travel agents that are following us here on this Facebook page or maybe seeing the replay to understand that out here we are going to have one expert for every country in Europe, one travel expert. So feel free to ask questions when you see the replay, DM me, DM us. We're all here and ready to help you. So, sir, Mr. Emick, nice to meet you.
Hey, thank you, Luca. How are you doing in Italy?
We are, closed down with this rainy weather. It could be better, but of course, we're going towards the winter. So what can we do, right? Yeah. So, Emick, dear Emick, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you?
Who am I? Yeah, $1,000,000 question. So yeah, my name is Emek Ataman. I'm the founder of Ataman Tours, a tour operator based in Helsinki, Finland. With Ataman Tours, I provide private small group walking tours in Helsinki and surrounding cities and places. And I have connections with other operators in other locations in Finland from the south to the north. So I basically help my guests enjoy Finland and get the best of Helsinki. But the interesting thing is I was born and raised in Turkey.
Wow.
In Turkey, I graduated Faculty of Architecture. I became a city planner. And then I got a master's degree, moved to Finland to continue, my academic career. And when I moved to Helsinki, I fell in love with Helsinki at first sight. So I said, this is the city I want to live in. And since that time, I'm living in Helsinki. This is a beautiful place, especially if you're a city planner or a designer or an architect. So when I was doing my PhD in the University of Helsinki, I said, I can combine my love for this city with my research about its history and culture and planning. So I established my company Ataman Tours, and I became an authorized Helsinki city guide. So I still continue my PhD. PhD never ends. It's for life.
Research.
Yeah. No, I'm just lazy. That's the reason it's not ending. But I'm a part-time lecturer in the university. I teach in our program, but most of my time is basically spent improving the services of Ataman Tours, progressing the company a little bit further and creating new and exciting products for my guests, basically.
That's awesome. That's outstanding. So we're literally talking to an expert of Finland and Helsinki. It's in your blood. It's there. It's fantastic. So let's move on to a question that unfortunately has been with us for the past 9 months. So how did COVID behave with Finland?
Yeah. This is the sad part of our talk. Finland has been doing okay if you compare it with other countries in Europe. Definitely, it's a smaller country. The total number of cases is around 25,000 or something. Number of people who passed away is even lower than 400. But this is a country of 5.5 million people, so of course that is expected. But we didn't expect most of the problems many other countries went through. Lack of healthcare personnel, lack of emergency rooms and equipment, etc. And for me, I always joke about this. The most interesting part was social distancing, because social distancing is a Finnish national sport. This is the easiest thing, man. So during the pandemic, it wasn't something new. It was normal for the Finns.
Yeah, that's
It's
very that's
constantly
very
right.
that's very funny. The way around it's about Italy. You know, we are very oggy and kissy, and now we are
No,
like. It
no.
seems that we don't like each other anymore. You know.
I can definitely vouch for that. Yeah, definitely.
So Emek, that's great. So Finland is doing for sure better than other countries in Europe. So that's very interesting. Let me ask you this. We see Finland as a faraway place, but it's not at all. You know, it's up in the north. And let me ask you this: what kind of tourism, what type of tourism do you guys have in Helsinki, and generally speaking, in Finland?
Mhm. Ah, yeah, yeah. But you're actually right. Finland is one of the exotic locations in Europe. I mean, even the language is exotic. Think about it, Finnish. No connection to any other language in Europe except Estonian. Just think of that. And this is an interesting and isolated part of Europe. Almost 80% of Finland is covered with forests. It's
Wow.
one of the last remaining wilderness in Europe. And the other important thing, it's a land of the thousand lakes. There are 188,000 lakes in Finland
Wow.
and 178 islands in Finland. So it has the largest archipelago in the world. Just think of those numbers. So these type of features make Finland an exotic place, definitely.
Of course.
But when I talk about this, don't think of Helsinki as like in the middle of nowhere in a forest. The Finnish capital is actually so such a hub for trade and industry and culture, and it is connected to basically everywhere. There are more than 60 airlines
Wow.
operating direct flights from 140 cities. You can come to Helsinki with a direct flight from Los Angeles, from
Wow.
from New York. So that is like Helsinki is known for those things, but importantly, the laid back and approachable atmosphere, easygoing, friendly locals, and it's a very easy city to navigate. But to continue with the general tourism potential of Helsinki and Finland, we usually divide Finland into four parts. It's Helsinki and surroundings, that's the first one. Uh, and then the archipelago and the coastal areas, western and southern coast.
Okay.
Then Lakeland, where all the lakes are basically, and then Lapland. So
Wow.
this is the regions, and in Helsinki, well, it is the famous place for design, architecture. It was the design capital of the world, 2012. It's the city of design. It was awarded City of Design by UNESCO in
Wow.
2014. So this is a city of museums and libraries, vibrant urban culture, sauna culture, by the way. Never forget, sauna is a Finnish invention.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, and then in the archipelago, it's thousands of islands, so you can do island hopping. You can see the wooden houses and the towns consisting of wooden houses, lighthouses, beautiful landscape, always proximity to the sea. In the Lakeland region, it is mostly about cottages, lakeside houses,
Okay.
again, boutique hotels and mansions with in the Europe's largest lake district, but you can also do lake cruises, different water activities. And on top of that, Lapland tourism. It's one of the
Okay.
most important, the Arctic Circle, the natural phenomenon, the Northern Lights,
Of
or
course.
the midnight summer. And
Wow.
think of Santa Claus and the reindeers. That's the Lapland tourism.
Jingle bell.
Yeah, it's you can visit Santa Claus every single day of the year.
Oh
That
boy.
is the most
I would go
important.
broke with my kids.
You
That
should definitely try that. Yeah.
that is a great introduction to the type of tourism that you guys have there in Finland. So it's pretty amazing. Now, another question that is quite important, I believe, to understand. So, how frequent is to see cruise ships docking there in Finland? Do you have a good amount of cruise ships coming over?
Yeah. That's actually one of the strong points of Helsinki. But before that, I also want to mention, you can reach Helsinki with the flights from basically all major cities in Europe and also from other parts of the world. It's quite easy. And like if you're driving in Europe, you can still reach Helsinki. You just need to reach Estonia, and then you get in the ferry. 2 hours, you're in Helsinki. That's basically it. But the cruise traffic, one of the most important features. So all cruises that visit the Baltic Sea stop in Helsinki. There is no exception, basically. And the numbers were increasing every year. And I was checking these numbers before we talked. I saw that in 2019, 600,000 people arrived at Helsinki with the cruises. So the population of Helsinki is 650,000.
So double it.
Yeah, and think of that. Total number of cruise ships that stopped in Helsinki was more than 300. And 20% of those people were from USA. So we have a very, very strong US connection here in Helsinki.
And so I'm sure that you could serve them through your private tours, I guess, right?
Exactly. It is the best part, because when the cruise passengers come to Helsinki, they basically have a day. It's not even a day, it's a half day. So yeah. I'm the person that they see
for that amount of time.
Yeah, who arranges basically what they will do from 9 o'clock in the morning until 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and they go back to the ship.
Let me ask you this, because see, every European country has a different approach to the cruise excursions. I give you an example. I talk about my personal experience. I do a lot of short excursions. We do a lot of driving tours because the ports in Italy that serve the major cities, like Civitavecchia for Rome or Livorno for Florence, they're a little far apart. So we have these driving tours on Mercedes minivans. So we pick them like at the bottom of the ship with a sign, off with the minivan and through the city. How's the situation in Helsinki? Is it more of a walkable kind of service, or you still need to take means of transportations to see the city from the port?
This is a good point. And so Helsinki is one of those cities where you can just walk and you're not going to be tired. The reason is this is a flat city and a flat country. We don't have mountains or uphills.
Or hills.
That's the first bit. And the other thing, Helsinki has one of the best public transportation systems. So you get out from your cruise, there is a tram stop in front of it. That's as simple as that. And from each and every cruise stop where the ships are stopping, there is this tram system, also the buses. But of course, if the customer or my guests want to have something else, like a private car or some van, it's still arrangeable. But we just tell our guests that is the best way. Just get in the tram, 10 minutes, you're in the city center. That's it.
But look, Epic, that's a very good question. But knowing a lot of times, the demand from our guests who are generally from the northern parts of of America, so Canada, America, even Australia. Yeah. Some, like, I'm imagining I'm taking to Helsinki my grandpa, right? Who is 82 years old and he loves to travel. He's not a great walker. I mean, he can walk, but he gets tired easily. So, still he has to enjoy the city, but he doesn't have to faint while enjoying it. So let's say you got, some customers, some travel agents asking you for their clients, kind of, very laid back service in terms of transportation. So you can provide them with the minivan.
Absolutely.
And still be there to tell them things and explain the history. That's a very good point. Fantastic. Now, the question, this is a general question I would like to ask you. So if you ask me, why should people choose Italy? I would give them a lot of, a lot of topics to think about, a lot of food for thought. So why people should choose Helsinki in Finland when they want to travel? Why? Give me some topics.
Oh yeah, sure. Of course, I mean, in addition to the variety of tourism in and around Helsinki and in different parts of Finland, as I was explaining, from coastal areas to Lakeland to Lapland, there are some other factors, and some of them are quite important for US citizens. I also was doing this research about the latest studies in US. They were talking about where people want to travel, what type of places. And the stuff that they mentioned was so interesting. I wanted to talk about that because more than 80% of the Americans say they will travel in 2021, you know?
Yeah,
So
yeah, absolutely.
the keywords they were using, it was so fun to read that. I said, I cannot find better adjectives for Helsinki because they were mentioning safety, more than half of them. More than half of them was mentioning peaceful, quiet places, close to nature, not crowded, and convenient and easy to get to. And this is like the best way to describe Helsinki.
Wow.
Safe and comforting and quiet, uncrowded. Definitely the best, the best nature you can find in Europe.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So these are really, really important bits. But also there is other stuff, like Finland has been ranked the happiest country in the world for 3 years in a row now. And it is always in the top 5, but now it has been registered as that. And Helsinki has been ranked as the happiest city. So you need to come and see why we are happy here. I
kind of have an idea why you're very happy right there, but that's in the back of my mind. I cannot tell you. Now, this is a very good point, yeah, because I strongly believe that with the 2021 reopening of the world, people will be a little cautious in terms of travel. We're not going to see those big groups on those big buses, like walking like sardines through the city roads, and this is what we got to be ready for as tour companies, basically, and tour operators. I had just in my mind that for once, maybe like in places like Rome that generally have so many people, driving tours will be the best because it's going to be their party, their driver, and they're going to be on their own. And on the other end, when you're talking about, Helsinki being such a peaceful place, that for sure would be one of the goals of the tours for 2021, because first of all, the culture, the design, the nature, the lakes, that is fantastic, very peaceful and fantastic. Awesome. Now, so something more technical now, a couple of questions, and then like we do all the times, we try to limit our interviews to 20-25 minutes, and we're about the 18th minute of speech. Now, here's the thing. So I have 5 clients, 5 customers, right? And I'm a travel agent from the United States. I've never been to Helsinki, because that's the point. I've never been to Helsinki. So the first attempt I have is for sure trying to connect with somebody in Helsinki, but it's not always easy. I'm far away. I've never been there, so I don't know the culture. I don't know what's going on. So I would go online and choose maybe one of those platforms that we have there without naming them. Easy, most likely not that functional. Now they will know you. Now they will know that they can count on an expert in Finland that lives in the area, knows the culture. They have a face to the person working on a book. So they would contact you, right? And I'm sure you would work in a friendly way with them, and I'm sure you're gonna give them also advices based on what their clients want to put together packages or whatever. Isn't that right, sir? Would you do that?
Yeah, definitely. And I always try to mention, there are so many different platforms and everything, but for me, the most important part of those platforms are the reviews that people write there, because that's the customer, that is the lifeline. It's not about the company, it's not about the travel agent, that's what the customer wants. So you need to really go with it. And what I can maybe proud of at this moment is that whichever platform you just look at in Helsinki, you will see my tours at the top. That's just as simple as that. And I mean, I'm not bragging here, but that is the thing.
You should brag about it.
Yeah, we don't need to even give the names of the platforms. You just go there, write Helsinki. The first tour is going to be my tour. I can just guarantee this. And that is one thing why I reach out to, for example, travel agents in different countries. I just tell them this. I just go for the highest quality. And the customers know it. And by following the customers' reviews and the great feedback, you will just find me. That is the simplest way. And the other thing is, there are these differences between small and big companies. Mm-hmm. So what I try to do personally is just take the advantages of small companies and also big companies and try to combine them. For example, being a small company, you can be flexible. I can be flexible with the commissions when I work with travel agents. I can be flexible with the itineraries. I can arrange these things, according to the preferences of the guests. I have full control over each and every product because I am the person who designed those products.
Of course.
So that is the best part. But the big company advantage is the highest quality.
Yeah.
So what I say is I go for quality over quantity. That is our understanding here in Finland with our, sustainable tourism ideas. So we go for the complete customer satisfaction, but the strong point is consistency. So small companies lack that. But what I do here is I go for quality rather than quantity. So I can be consistent and provide over and over and over and over again.
A nice standard service.
Quality tour.
Fantastic.
That's the important part.
That's fantastic. And now, last but not least, why should the travel agents and the travel lovers choose you when they come to Finland?
Yeah. I mean,
you partially already answered that, but
yeah, of course. But
as login
to that, in addition to that, I always say there are a couple of things. One, about being the expert in where you're living and where you're working. It's a very important thing. First thing first, I'm an authorized Helsinki guide, and I'm a part of this Helsinki Guides Association, and I know this city like the back of my hand. But on top of that, I'm a city planner. I do research about this city. I know the urban history, the architecture, the design understanding here. And in addition to that, and I know you love this thing because I love Helsinki. It may sound cliche, but that's the difference maker. I always tell my guests, wherever you go, find a guide that loves the city, that loves that place, that locality, that village. It doesn't matter, because then they will share their passion for that city. Only that way you can really understand that city and enjoy the things it offers. That's the way.
Absolutely. So, Emek, it has been outstanding. I mean, this 25 minutes flew by. We understood that Finland, for sure, it's a place to see. We understood that you are the guy to contact, also to be helped a little bit in case travel professionals didn't know about Finland and Helsinki. So once again, just a little headline that I should have brought out at first. Again, why are we doing this? We're doing this to be out there and in these moments of crisis in our sector, letting you know that you can count on us. Don't book us, that's fine. But if you got questions about our countries, if you got questions about Finland, about Helsinki, come on in, ask Emek. He's there for that. See, so far, there's not a better time than asking questions now. We got nothing to do. We're not doing tours, right? We're here. Well, Emek, we are passionate. We're all passionate about our company, our countries, our continent. We love what we do. And you said it right before. What does a travel expert need to be called travel expert? Not only the knowledge, but the heart, the passion, and the love for what they do. So that's the key point. So I agree with you, my friend. Well, thank you so much, Emek. Thank you for the time spent over through this live streaming. It has been an honor to have you on. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you everyone for watching this brief interview with Amic from Finland. All right, bye everyone.
Stay safe.
You have a great day.
Bye.